What I'm about to tell you happened last Christmas, and it still gives me chills thinking about it. My mother-in-law looked me straight in the eyes, in front of the entire family, and said the most hurtful thing anyone has ever said to me. But by the end of that night, she would regret every single word. Before I tell you what she said and how I got the perfect revenge, let me give you some background because this story has been building up for 3 years. And trust me, the ending will shock you. But first, if you enjoy dramatic real-life stories like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I share these kinds of stories every single day. My name is Sarah, I'm 28 years old, and I've been married to my husband David for 3 years now. When we first started dating, I thought I was the luckiest girl in the world. David was everything I wanted in a partner: kind, funny, successful, and he came from what seemed like a loving family. His mother, Patricia, seemed sweet at first. She would smile at me, ask about my job, and even invited me to family dinners. But I started noticing little things. She would forget to set a place for me at dinner. She would talk about David's ex-girlfriend Jennifer and how perfect she was for the family. She would make subtle comments about my job as a kindergarten teacher, saying things like, "Oh, that's nice. David could use someone more ambitious." But David never noticed. Or maybe he chose not to notice. Whenever I brought it up, he would say, "Mom's just protective," or "You're being too sensitive." So I tried to ignore it and focus on our relationship. Things got worse after we got engaged. Patricia started planning our wedding without asking me. She booked venues I hated, chose colors I specifically said I didn't want, and even tried to invite Jennifer to our wedding because she's still part of the family. When I finally stood up for myself and told David we needed to plan our own wedding, Patricia threw a fit. She cried to David about how I was keeping him away from his family and how I was changing him. The worst part was when she organized a family photo session for David's birthday and accidentally forgot to invite me. When I saw the photos on Facebook, David with his parents, his sister, even his cousin's girlfriend was there, but not me, his fiancée. When I confronted David about it, he just said it was last minute. Mom probably forgot. But I knew she didn't forget. This was intentional. After we got married, I thought things would change. I was wrong. They got worse. Patricia would call David every day, sometimes multiple times. She would drop by our house unannounced and act surprised that I was there, saying things like, "Oh, I didn't know you'd be home." In my own house. She would criticize everything about me: my cooking, my cleaning, my appearance. She once told David, right in front of me, that I had let myself go because I gained 5 pounds during winter. 5 pounds. But the final straw came last Christmas. David and I had been trying to have a baby for about 6 months. I wasn't ready to announce it to everyone yet, but I had just found out I was pregnant, literally 3 days before Christmas dinner. I was so excited but wanted to wait until after the holidays to tell everyone properly. We went to Patricia's house for Christmas dinner. The whole family was there: David's sister Emma with her husband, his uncle, aunt, and their kids. I was feeling a bit nauseous from morning sickness, so I wasn't eating much, and I declined the wine Patricia kept pushing on me. That's when she made the comment that changed everything. Patricia stood up in the middle of dinner, raised her wine glass, and said, "I want to make a toast to family. To the people who truly belong here, who understand our values and traditions. To real family members, not temporary additions who will never truly understand what it means to be part of this family." Everyone went quiet. David looked confused. But then Patricia looked directly at me and said, "Sarah, you're not really family, are you? You're just here." David will realize eventually that he married the wrong person. Jennifer would have been perfect for this family. She understood us. I was so shocked I couldn't even speak. David started to say something, but Patricia continued. "I mean, look at you. You can't even finish your dinner. You refuse our wine. You don't participate in our conversations. You're clearly not happy here, so why do you keep coming back? That's when something inside me snapped. I stood up slowly, looked Patricia straight in the eyes, and said, "You're right, Patricia. I haven't been participating much tonight. That's because I've been feeling a bit nauseous lately. You see, I'm pregnant with your son's child, your first grandchild. But after tonight, I'm not sure this baby should grow up knowing someone so hateful as their grandmother." The entire room went dead silent. Patricia's face went white. David's jaw dropped. Emma gasped. But I wasn't done. I continued. "For 3 years, I've endured your passive-aggressive comments, your deliberate exclusions, and your constant attempts to undermine my marriage to your son. I kept quiet because I thought it would get better. But tonight, you've shown me exactly who you are." I turned to David. "Your mother just told me, in front of your entire family, that I don't belong here and that you married the wrong person. On Christmas Day, while I'm carrying your child. So now you need to choose. Do you stand up for your wife and unborn child, or do you let your mother continue to treat us like this?" David looked at his mother, then at me, and finally found his voice. "Mom, that was completely unacceptable. Sarah is my wife. She's carrying my child, and she is family. If you can't treat her with respect, then we won't be coming here anymore." But Patricia, instead of apologizing, doubled down. "David, don't let her manipulate you with this pregnancy announcement. She's just trying to cause drama." That's when David's uncle, who had been quiet this whole time, spoke up. "Patricia, that's enough. Sarah is your daughter-in-law. She's pregnant with your grandchild, and you just humiliated her on Christmas. You should be ashamed of yourself." Emma also chimed in. "Mom, what's wrong with you? Sarah's been nothing but kind to our family, and this is horrible." David and I left immediately. We drove home in silence, and then David broke down crying. He apologized over and over again, saying he never realized how bad his mother's behavior had become. He admitted that he had been making excuses for her because he didn't want to deal with the conflict. The next day, Patricia called David, but not to apologize. She called to blame me for ruining Christmas and turning the family against her. David told her she was wrong, and that until she sincerely apologized to me, we wouldn't be speaking. It's been 11 months now. Our baby girl was born in August, and Patricia has never met her granddaughter. Emma and David's uncle have tried to convince her to apologize, but Patricia is too proud. She's missed out on every milestone: the baby shower, the birth, first steps, first words. Emma told me that Patricia constantly asks about the baby and even bought gifts that she's keeping at her house, hoping will eventually come back. But David has stood firm. He told his mother that family isn't just about blood. It's about respect, love, and support. And until she can show that to me, we won't be part of her life. The irony is that Patricia always said I wasn't real family. But now she's the one on the outside, missing out on her real family, her son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting someone face the consequences of their own actions. What would you have done in my situation? Would you forgive Patricia if she apologized now, or is some damage too deep to repair? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more real-life drama stories like this one.